Hello, everyone, and welcome to St. John Sea Dogs Hockey here on Flow Hockey TV and the Sea Dogs YouTube channel with the Sea Dogs Audio Network. My name is Luke, much as we see here in Gatineau tonight as the St. John Sea Dogs will face off against the Olympiques. Both teams on a bit of a slide here as of late. The Sea Dogs have not won yet on this Quebec road swing, losing by a score of 6-3 to Shawinigan and 8-5 to Sherbrooke. The Olympiques coming off of a 6-3 loss to the Blainville Boisbriand Armada. Both teams have been struggling a little bit in their last 10. The Sea Dogs 3-6-1, the Olympiques 2-7-0 and 1. It is the return to Gatineau for the Sea Dogs number 91, Maxime Coche. He played against them at the Aitken Center on the campus of the University of New Brunswick earlier on in January. Now back in his old home barn against his former team. You know that he'll want to be going today as the Sea Dogs once again looking to get their first win on this Quebec road swing. But they will be short-handed for it. We have 4 injured Sea Dogs here this afternoon/evening. Oliver Smirniks, Vincent Croteau, and the 2 new ones, Alexi Joseph out with an injury, Will Yared out with an upper body injury as well. For the Gatineau Olympiques, Ethan Cox will be a healthy scratch. Clement Landry will be a healthy scratch. Zachary Michaud as well. And Peter Legosteyev is injured for this matchup. So the Sea Dogs going with 11 forwards and 7 defensemen here for this one with the call-up of Mr. Renault. We will get into that more and give you a bit of a background on him after our national anthem and starting goaltender. So we'll step out when we come back. Puck drop here from Gatineau. With our national anthem all wrapped up, let's take a look at our starting goaltenders before puck drop. First up for the home squad, Danai Shaikov. He stopped 27 out of 31 shots in January whenever the Olympiques faced off against the St. John Sea Dogs. That was the game where the Sea Dogs won 5-1. He'll look for a bounce back effort as he tries to collect his 16th win of the season. For the Sea Dogs, in the goal for them, it's going to be Arseny Radkov once again. He was pulled after allowing 5 goals on 23 shots versus the Sherbrooke Phoenix just 2 nights ago. He is 14, 13, 4, and 1 with a .346 goals against average and an .884 save percentage. The Montreal Canadiens' third rounder in 2025. He was picked 82nd overall. And of course, as promised, called up here tonight on emergency basis, wearing number 93 for your St. John Sea Dogs is Cole Renault. It is his first QMJHL career game. He's coming out of the Quebec Major U18 AAA League, where he has 45 points in 40 games. He was the Sea Dogs' 6th round draft pick. At the most recent QMJHL entry draft, he was picked 109, 6'3", 174 pounds. Maxime Coche out to take the opening face-off against his former squad. Captain Olivier Groux allowed him to go and take the picture for the ceremonial face-off. A nice touch by him, as we have an early icing call just 7 seconds into this matchup. Otto Magnuson will come back to collect. So an important game here for the Sea Dogs. The opening 2 games of this road swing has not been a very pretty sight for St. John. 14 goals against in their last 2 games. That simply cannot happen. We'll see what kind of adjustments head coach Travis Crickard and his staff made here tonight against a Gatineau Olympique team that does not score a lot. They have the second least goals for in the entire league. The only team that scored less than them this year is Gatineau. They've scored 11 less at 112. The Olympiques have 123. Up to the point. Here's Baldwin. He'll turn and fire. That one deflects off and wide. The Olympiques, they don't score a lot. They also don't let up a whole lot of goals. For a team that's 16th in the QMJHL, they've only given up 177 goals. That's pretty much middle of the pack in the QMJHL. As picking things up now, it's going to be Noah Florent. He'll fire this one in down low. Now Simon Xavier Cyr back there. Young 14th overall pick in the 2024 Q draft. From Sherbrooke, 18 points in 53 games for him. That's just outside of the top 3. Here's a stretch feed trying to work their way up the ice, but Milo Serdney there to cut off Alex Donovan. Now here's Groux with it, looking in front for Rossi. Up to the point, it's going to be Dom Foose. Dishes back off for Groux, who takes another shot. That one might have caught a bit of the bar. Either way, cleared outside of the zone as it's Duhamel. Now Dom Foose rips this one up the ice, banks it off the boards as Groux blows a tire. It's going to be picked back up again by Cyr. Here comes Cyr working in, takes a shot off the stick of Dom Foose and over the blocker side of the goal. Wasmer out there with Dom Foose as it's worked D to D. Justin Blay, both teams going with 11 forwards and 7 defensemen here in this one tonight. With the Gatineau Olympiques scratching 2 of their young guns. Obviously, the big name is Clement Landry, former 13th overall pick at the most recent QMJHL entry draft. He's only played 7 games this year on the blue line for the Olympiques. As it's dumped inside the zone, it's Halley on his horse after it, trying to rim it around. Zach Morin has a little bit of trouble with it. As now a board battle for it. Here's Wasmer. He'll take a bump from behind as Petrut will work his way in. A shot comes. Radkov the stop. Nicholas Petrut leads this Olympic squad in points. 30 points in 50 games is the highest point totals right now for the Olympique. And for Petrut, in his last 9 games, only 1 point, and it was a goal. So this matchup kind of working in the Sea Dogs' favor here this evening, as they have been giving up a lot of goals on this Quebec road swing and an opportunity to shut down the fort and get back into their defensive structure. that can help them win hockey games. Here's Halley again, up to the point. Russi lets it go. Tipped off and wide. Petrut up for Sagan. A quick shot. Never got in towards the goal. As now it's Gauthier trying to flee that one outside of the zone. Gauthier will pick it up again. Worked out towards the neutral zone. Picked up, and now here come the Sea Dogs. Back the other way. It's going to be Morin. He'll turn and fire. That one finds, it looks like Jabez Seymour trying to work this one around. He's been the hottest St. John Sea Dog as of late. Jabber's been pumping along. He's got 14 points on the season, 10 goals. 5 of those goals have come in his last 4 games. Or his last 3 games, excuse me. So Jabez Seymour on a bit of a heater right now as it's play from his own end. It's country/superhero night here tonight in Gatineau, from what I understand. Quite a combo nonetheless. Here's Alex Donovan. He'll cross over the blue line. Full head of steam trying to wheel his way in was Renault as he gets his first shift in the QMJHL. Out there with Crayer on the forecheck right now. Alex Donovan will join them as Crayer playing center. Donovan and Renault on the wing. Here's a stretch feed. Dagenet. That one was cut off as it's forced back again. D to D down the length of the ice. Icing waved off as Drabchinski plays it back. The best plus-minus ratio on the St. John Sea Dogs belongs to Oscar Drabchinski. As so far on the season this year, he sits at a +8. An impressive stat line for a defender in his first season in the QMJHL. Here's Carl Otto Magnuson. Long feed up ahead. Nolan Aru on his horse. Thought he's looked good here over the last couple games on this Quebec road swing. And now getting an elevated role in the second line with Max Coche and Angelo Fullerton. Angelo Fullerton tied his career high in points for 1 game last time against Sherbrooke. He was 2-1-3 in the stat department just 2 days ago against the Phoenix in the eventual 8-5 loss. As now here's Nolan Aru again. He'll find Coche. Big bump there from Mike Milo Serdney. Caught Coche up high. Here's Coche with it again. Looks to be no worse for wear as it's swept inside of the Sea Dogs' end. Baldwin, one touches that one around the horn. Picked up by Angelo Fullerton. Fullerton drops it back. Baldwin. Nice saucer feed, and he'll find Bodom Foose, the 2 right-handed defenders, out here together on the blue line for St. John. As it's Grew, working it up now, Alex Donovan chips it by 1. He'll race in with Alex Carbonneau, who was part of the Jan Golicic trade that sent Golicic to the Blainville-Boisbriand Armada. Grew, Domfus gets taken down, and it looks like a penalty call, and the Sea Dogs are off to the power play to start this one off early. As last game on the power play, the Sea Dogs were 2 for 6, pretty good clip. They were 0 for 2 on the penalty kill, and that really burned them in the second period. So the Olympique penalty kill last game against the Armada was only at 50%. They were 2 for 4. So Sea Dogs with great opportunity here, trying to get the game's first goal. Here's Olivier Grew. Drops it off for Baldwin at the top of the point. Work back again, Rossi. Down low. Donovan tries to shovel one in. That one stopped by Shaikov. Rim back around and down the length of the ice. So 14:20 left to go. Here's time continues to click down on both the penalty kill for the Olympique and the period itself. Through center ice, Rossi is intercepted there as Baldwin will come back again to restart. Everett Baldwin redirects some traffic here. Sits in between the 2 red circles in his defensive end. It's going to be Donovan. Back up for Grew. Plays a backhander down low. Shaikov once more is tangled up as again now Milo Serdney. Back it comes for Rossi. Works his way up to the point. Long pass down low as Donovan finds Fullerton. 1:05 left to play. First unit still out. Grew at the top of the point. Rink-wide feed is intercepted. Rossi and Donovan both wheeling in to grab that. Up for Fullerton. Back to the point. Baldwin winds up that one loose out in front for Grew. Tries to throw a backhander. Up for Baldwin. One-timer and Shaikov down to make the stop. Fullerton, I don't think, got all of it. Good puck movement there, mainly from number 2 on the back end as Baldwin found Fullerton. but that puck ended up off the pad of Shaikov as it remains 0-0. Here's Koche. Finds Morin. Seymour on the power play, and the Sea Dogs will trickle offside. And that will result in a stoppage of play with the second unit out there now. See Cameron Chartrand playing some consistent games again here. Good to see as he's battled injury throughout the regular season. As Seymour off the draw. Wins this one back, Olivier Duhamel. Inside of his own end, Chartrand, Morin, Koche, Seymour to end off this power play for St. John. 15 seconds left to score. It'll be cleared down. And once again, Chartrand back to collect. Or excuse me, that's Duhamel. We have 5 seconds left to go. That will pretty much do it for the man advantage. So the Olympique 1 for 1 on the penalty kill. Seymour, good hand-eye, bats that one down to himself, plays it in down low. Picked up from there by Dylan Alley. Alley was a 2023 draft pick. Played with Rockland in the CCHL last year. 23 games for him under his belt. 6 goals, 3 assists, 9 points. Shots 4-1 in favor of the Dogs as the Olympique back to even strength, and they'll try to push back a little bit here with the momentum that they gained off that most recent penalty kill. Up to the point. Here's Russia a drive in, high and wide to the blocker's side. Seymour able to chip this one along the blue line with help. It's outside of the zone. Here comes Fullerton, waiting for help. He'll dish it off Donovan, right off the bench, as it's going to be now picked up by Carbonell. Rink-wide feed as Zachary Russi, Providence College commit for this time next season, as it's Drabchinski now. Fires this one, and it's going to be picked up there by Dume LaRoche. As it's worked back right up the middle, turned over and sent back inside of Gatineau territory. Shaikov plays this one around. The 64th pick overall in the most recent import draft for the CHL. As here's a drive in, fanning on it, across it goes. And my goodness, Radkov might have got a piece of it. Petruk might have fanned. Either way, we'll stay tied. As it's dumped in again, Milo Serdney. Now it's going to be Wasmer. He'll play it up ice. Donovan, that one out of the reach of Morin, down the length of the ice. And icing just waved off. As now McLennan looks to gear up once again. He'll pass this one along. Blay working in, looking for the backdoor feed was Barton. Couldn't go tape to tape on that attempt. Gauthier with it now on the backhand. Works it up for Seymour. Here comes Jabez Seymour over the blue line. Throws it down low. Baldwin for Seymour once again. Morin up and around the horn it will go. We're going to have a whistle. And with that, we'll step out. Sea Dogs, Olympique, both scoreless here, 0-0, just around halfway through our first period. Welcome back. We are at the Slush Puppy Center in Gatineau. Luke Much with you. As a nice touch there. Max Koche getting a tribute as he's welcomed back here to Gatineau. Here's Sear. Plays it across. It's going to be intercepted. Back now, Boissel tries to gain control. Sear works it in back below the cage. As once again now it's going to be Sear. Teams passing it back and forth between each other as it's sent into the low glove side corner of Radkov. Grew has this one on his tape. Domfus able to work it up through the neutral zone. As it's down the ice, it's going to be worked away from the icing call as Renault turns on the Jets. 9:45 left to go, and here they come back the other way. It's the Olympiques and Boissel into the glove of Radkov for the whistle. As Cole Renault showing off his wheels here early on into his QMJHL career. With the pass missing everybody going down the length of the ice for icing, Renault was able to beat out his man and negate the call. Off the draw. It's going to be a tie-up. Chartrand working back for it with Dylan Alley of the Olympiques. Chartrand now tries to get it outside of the zone again with help from Coach he will. It's going to be Nolan Aru picking things up, and another offside to this one. As Nolan Aru still looking for that elusive first QMJHL career goal. In his 30th game here this season, 9 assists for him. Coach lining up, and his former teammate Dylan Alley will beat him on that face-off. Now working it in, here's Heru. Nolan Aru drops it back. Coach back for Aru up to the top of the point. It's Chartrand. He'll take a shot in. That one never got in towards the goal as Coach was looking out in front. It was blocked off by a member of the Olympiques before it could get to the blue paint. Here's Wasmer. Long stretch feed, and here come the Dogs driving back in again. It's Seymour. He's tied up there with Alex Carbonneau. Worked up to the top of the point. D to D. Wasmer takes a look off the end wall, trying to get one to bounce out in front as Seymour and Carbonneau continue to go at it. And it's going to be Seymour that gives Florent a hard bump there along the half wall. Now here's Colin. Gio Colin, 39th game of the season for him. A 200th overall selection in the 11th round a few years ago. As we have the Sea Dogs trying to work it back in again. It's taken away. Grew sets things up for St. John. Here's Wasmer. Off the boards finds Magnuson. Magnuson with 8:10 left to play in our opening period. Shots 4-3 in favor of the Sea Dogs. Wasmer rips this one deep inside the zone. Shaikov waits, thinks about rimming it. He'll leave it for his man. As the Sea Dogs pinch, it's going to be Magnuson attempting to keep it in. Can't do so. And back it will come as a delayed offside as we have Halley touching it. And that will result in yet another whistle. There's Gabriel Sagan. Strong start to the year for him as he had 19 points before the Christmas break. Since then, he's played 22 games, has 2 goals, 0 assists, 2 points. As he's been in a bit of a slide as of late. A 19-year-old from St. Lazare. Clear to see that the mindset of this Olympic team is defense first. Here's Magnuson, building from the back out. As it's fired up and in between the two blue lines, Gauthier pokes that one along, and it's going to fall right back into the hands of Yan Goudreau. Yan Goudreau was a QMJHL champion a few years ago, 2023-24 with the Drummondville Voltigeurs. That year he was added as a free agent, now making his way to the Olympique organization as an overage defender. Here comes Seymour, 2-on-1. Jabez Seymour walks in a shot. That one stopped. Rebound, tries to bank it off Shaikov. I like the thought process from Seymour. He's had the hot stick. Why not shoot it? But just couldn't place his shot in the perfect spot. Shaikov able to make the save. As picking this one up, Drew McLennan. Oshawa native. Works it past the red line. He'll dump it in. Radkov stops it, and Bodom Foose will take over. As it's D to D, Baldwin misses his man there as Renault tried to get a hold of that pass. Now it's going to be Dubé working in. He'll take a shot. That one tips off and wide as Sear couldn't control. Back up to the point. That one driven in off the stick of Russi. Looking for his 4th of the season. Sear drops it off again. Activating in will be Blais. Looking in front, fanning on that shot was Dubé as Duhamel goes off the boards. Held in by Sear once again. Solid pressure here from the Olympique. Another shot in and out of the chest of Radkov. Rebound up to the half wall. Dubé waits again. Rim down low, Russi. Setting up shop now are the Olympiques. Continuing the pressure, another drive in off the stick of Radkov, ramping it up and into the netting. As it's been a busy start here for both teams, especially Arseny Radkov in the last 2 minutes of play or so. He's been facing plenty of shots. With that, we'll step out. Sea Dogs and Olympique tied with under 6 left to go in period number 1. And we have under 6 minutes left to go here from Gatineau between the Sea Dogs and the Olympique, and we are tied still at 0. As we're underway once again, Shaikov tries to play this one along. It's going to be worked back once more by Ali. Ali plays it to the top of the slot, and that one just missing wide to the glove hand side of Radkov. It was busy off in front. This one tipped off just wide to the blocker's side as well. As the Olympique, as of the last few seconds, or minutes rather, have really come on strong. The shots were 4-1 in favor of the St. John Sea Dogs. It's now 7-5 in favor of the hometown Gatineau side. Here's a drive in. That's going to be deflected as Halley tried to let it rip. Now it's Chartrand taking his time with it. Lots of time through the defensive end. Wasmer is going to peel back as the Sea Dogs in the midst of a line change with their forward unit. Drabczynski takes the puck from Wasmer. He'll wait for him to get to the bench before he advances the play. Here's Grew looking through the middle. Nice feed. Rozzi working their way in. Donovan leads the rush just off and wide to the blocker side. Drabczynski turns. Here's Grew, a shot. The rebound out in the slot area. Back for Grew again. Drabczynski loads. It's going to be deflected wide. Rebound for Rozzi out in front. And Shaikov, the first one to find it, as he'll smother the trapper down on that one. And wait for the whistle. As Danny Shaikov, a losing record of 15-21-1, but great individual stats. Goals against average 2.72 and a .904 save percentage on a team that's third last in the league is nothing to overlook. He's carried a lot of the load here for them. There is no doubt about that. His 38th start this season. Here's Boissel. Drops it back. Milo Serdny trying to power his way through. 6'6", 214 pounds is big Mike Milo Serdny. As a backhander comes in wide of the mark. Here's Dumais Larouche. Around for Dubé. Multi-point game against the Sea Dogs in January. He had 2 assists. As it's Grew now, jamming on the brakes, Olivier Grew. He'll turn and fire. As this one will be blockered aside. Game 150 for the Sea Dogs captain, Olivier Grew. He's also 2 points away from 100 in his QMJHL career, so it could be a double milestone night for him if things go right. Magnuson drops it back. Baldwin waiting, curls backwards. Everett Baldwin, Tampa Bay Lightning 5th rounder, up for Magnuson. He'll throw this one in deep. As again, first one to it will be Dumais Larouche, active on the blue line as always for the Olympiques. Baldwin once again. Magnuson, clear ice ahead, and he'll take it. Here comes Carlotta Magnuson, crosses the red line, dumps it in. Shaikov comes out to stop it. First man to retrieve that puck will be Goudreau. Turned over, Gauthier down low, looking for Morin. Morin comes in to help out, and he'll win that puck battle up to the top of the point. Baldwin off for Magnuson again. Rims it in all the way around the horn for Morin. Back up to the point of drive. That's going to be deflected off. As off the shin pad of Gauthier and wide. Barton, 4th line center for the Olympiques. His first season in the QMJHL, 7 points for him in 28 games. Seymour, Gauthier, Fullerton, the 3 Sea Dogs forwards out there. As Barton now picks up the puck, and he'll head man one upwards and going from south to north, and before dumping that one in with 2.5 left to play in period number 1. Here's Angelo Fullerton, 20-year-old forward for the Sea Dogs on the home stretch of his major junior hockey career. He has the puck now up to the point. Duhamel back for Fullerton. Fullerton plays it off the yellow kick plate, finds Duhamel. Jams up on the brakes. Crayer now comes in to help as Duhamel's pinned up. Renault out there as well. As it's Crayer still back in behind the goal. We have a pileup now as McLennan, Blay, Alley all in there for Gatineau. Renault, Crayer for the Sea Dogs. The official's not going to blow it dead. He's telling them to move it. We'll see if anybody listens. Eventually, it's going to be forked along. Fullerton goes up to the top of the point. Duhamel, D to D. Here's Domfus close side. At the blue line, Duhamel a drive. Also stopped up by Shaikov. As Crayer advances the play, dumping it in Fullerton. Heavy in on the forecheck. Dumais Larouche pressured there by the Sea Dogs 81. As he'll drop it back for Russi. He'll get it back rather quickly. Hawley now. Up and over the red line. Now the blue. It's going to be Julian Wasmer with 75 seconds left to play in our opening 20-minute frame. Petrut walks the face-off circle. Here's Russi at the blue line, trying to find a shooting lane. Blocked in front off the stick of Grew and wide. As it's Petrut, hard around, right in front of the Sea Dogs bench. A drive in is going to be stopped up. As it's Petrut once more now, spinning away from Wasmer, trying to show off his footwork. Russi. As it's Dumais Larouche. Going to send one in deep. Wassell works it around below the goal line, drifts up and tries to skate around the face-off circle, drops it off. Petrut walks in, loads up, blocked in front again by Grew. 30 seconds left to go. Here's Russi, another shot, another block. This time it's Dylan Rossi laying it on the line. Chipped around, Boissel finds Wasmer. Wasmer again, he'll go up the middle. Grew flips it, and then it will land at the center ice line into the glove of Russi. Turned over, and Olivier Grew tries to work his way in 1-on-3. He blows a tire, and with 10 seconds left to go, the puck dumped down into the Sea Dogs' end. Chartrand plays it around. Sea Dogs trying to get it out, and they will. And that will do it for the opening 20 minutes from the Slush Puppy Center here in Gatineau, as the Sea Dogs and the Olympiques tied at 0. A competitive period back and forth between the 15th and 16th place teams in the Quebec Maritimes Junior Hockey League. I'm sure that won't change in our second period. We'll step out when we come back. It will be that middle period between these two hockey clubs here in Gatineau. Welcome back. One period in the books here from Gatineau as we are set to embark on our middle frame here from the Slush Puppy Center. It is the Olympiques. It is the Sea Dogs tied at 0 after 1. Yet to see the game's first goal. Did see a few Sea Dogs fans in the crowd here this evening/afternoon. Always a good sight to see. Here's Mike Milo Serdney. Plays it around for Jeremy Dumais-Larouche. As it's turned over, Donovan tries to pull the trigger. Can't. Bodom Foose curls away. Here's Grew. Back for Dom Foose. Up for Donovan. Alex Donovan looks to the top of the point. Grew lets it go. That one tipped in front. Loose puck. And dumped off there in front of the goal was, I believe, Alex Donovan. It's going to be Milo Serdney leading the rush up the length of the ice. Sear looking in front. That's going to deflect off the stick of Grew. Up and out of play as the Sea Dogs with a good opportunity to start off the second period, but just not able to cash in. As the Sea Dogs looking for their first win on this Quebec road swing. Still tied at 0. Face off from the St. John end as Coche tries to move it up. Back it will go. Petrout, now Baldwin. Rims it all the way around. Nobody home for St. John. Held inside the zone by Florent. As Halley now out in front. That one under Radkov. He didn't know where it was. And again, it all starts with a turnover in the defensive end. The Sea Dogs aren't able to get it out in the first line of the Olympiques. Get to work. Your second line, I should say. As a quick feed out in front. It all started off the turnover from Baldwin. Petrout out in front, and a nice stop there. Arseny Radkov fully stretched out. Able to smother things up. Seymour loses that face-off as the Olympiques and Florent control. Radkov able to corral that one in as well, as the Seas parted for him to stop that one up. As the line switched up here a bit for head coach Serge Beausoleil. Here's Halley, Petrout, and now Florent instead of Sagan. And there's Florent's most recent opportunity. Didn't place that one where he wanted to. Here's Wasmer. Pinned up quickly on the close-sided mid-wall. And it's back again for Wasmer. Looking to gear up, and now here they come. Dumping this one in. Now it's going to be the Olympique and Petrout skating right to left. He's taken down there by an aired stick of Julian Wasmer. And it will be the first Olympique power play of the hockey game. The Sea Dogs 0 for 1 on their power play. The Olympique will try to take a stab at it now as Wasmer tries to poke the puck away from Petrout. Petrout turns on the Jets, and Wasmer just straight up misses and pulls out the axe and chops down his man. The Olympique power play on the season, 20.5%. That's 11th. The Sea Dog penalty kill, that's been a strong point. 81.2% is 4th in the league. They need a bounce back from 2 days ago, where they went 0 for 2 on the penalty kill. Dump down the length of the ice and a good start here. Dropping it off, Russi. Hands it off for Houle. Across now, Alley. And it's going to be Halley from Alley. Down again, Houle. This one not able to be corralled cleanly by Alex Dagenet. Here's a shorthanded break, and they score. As it's going to be Angelo Fullerton who extends the Sea Dogs' league-leading 14th shorthanded goal of the season. As I was looking down to check my notes on the power play for the Olympique, Fullerton off the turnover. Head down, nice feed by Grew, and Fullerton will chip it over the glove hand side. of the goaltender Shykov. That's .99 for Olivier Groulx. As Shykov aggressive, but Angelo Fullerton, he's been hot. And he continues the streak here, 1-0 in favor of the Dogs. As Olivier Groulx, despite the team not having success on the road trip, he certainly has. On a 4-game point streak is Radkov now. A nice stop back the other way. Olivier Groulx, 4-game point streak. All 5 of those points in the point streak are assists. In his last 7 games, Groulx has 10 points. Angelo Fullerton coming off of a 3-point performance against the Sherbrooke Phoenix. And his second goal against Gatineau this year. He had 2 points against them earlier on in the season. Here's Fullerton turning it over. Duhamel in a race for this one as Groulx battles for it on the wall. Work down the length of the ice again. So the Sea Dogs, 14 short-handed goals. That is something. And it's still on the power play. Dumais-Larouche down low, looking to rim this one around. It's going to be worked up to the point. Dumais-Larouche again. Hands it off to the inside, a shot. Not able to get through. Coche against his former team. As it's going to be Dubé now. Slings this one in towards the goal. Fought off out in front. And chopped at down the ice. As Dumais-Larouche again. 10 seconds left to go on the man advantage. Here come the Olympiques with it again. Enters into the attacking zone. Boissel looks cross ice, settling it down. Eventually now it's going to be Seymour. And here comes Jabez Seymour with Wasmer in on a partial 2-on-1. Seymour rifles that one well wide. He'll get the rebound. Here is Seymour at the top of the circle. Tips off. Just drains off low to the glove hand side. As Jabez Seymour almost with a lucky bounce there. Shot partially blocked. Just missing the low glove side post. So here's Dom Foose. We're back to 5-on-5. As both teams now 1 for 1 on the PK. It's going to be picked up there as the Olympique try to move it in. Collin, stretch feed, looking for Barton there on the breakaway. It was an icing call, but Barton able to beat out Baldwin and Chartrand to the puck. Now looking out towards the slot area, taken away, and here's Donovan back the other way. That puck bounces up on him. Groulx takes over. Looking to the inside. He'll drop it off. Rossi. Back again. Donovan. Pass Groulx up to the point. Baldwin. Chartrand shoots. That one blocked. The rebound flutters off wide to the blocker's side. Rossi plays it around once more off the official. And it's going to be picked up there by Florent. As Milo Serdny tries for a short feed off for Florent again. It's up to the top of the point. From the blue line, Dubé shoots that one blocked. Here's a partial break. Groulx for 100. That one off the post, and it will stay out. Donovan. Rossi now takes a fire, and it's not able to go as Olivier Groulx looking for .100 in the QMJHL. Just missing. Alex Donovan back the other way. Over the blue line. Nice move by one. Donovan to the inside. Coche tried to get a deflection. Radkov's there. He'll put the blocker down to get the whistle. Man, oh man. What an opportunity there for Olivier Groulx. 99 career points. Playing in his 150th QMJHL career game today. So an offensive zone face-off for the Sea Dogs. As it's played back off the face-off, an unfair puck drop, says the trailing linesman. And he will kick out the Sea Dogs player, Cote. There's a look at that breakaway opportunity for Groulx. Funny hop that one took. Fullerton comes in to take the face off, and he'll win it back. Koche to the point, looking back for it again, winds up, couldn't beat his former teammate in Danny Shaikov. There's a foot race for it now. Dubé with Nolan Aru, neck and neck. Dubé wins it, curls up, looks to dish it off, poked aside by Damphus. Puck in the corner, nobody wanted to get it. As Duhamel didn't go for it, Nolan Aru was a second late as well. Koche up for Donovan. Here's a feed looking for Aru, runs into the hard shoulder of Justin Blais. Dubé once again. Now it's going to be Sear. Sear looks for the trailer. Nice feed. Carbonell with a shot. Blocked in front by Duhamel. Rebound chopped at. Here comes Fullerton with Duhamel. There's a race for it, and we're going to call a high stick against the Sea Dogs. Face off back in their half of the ice. And with that, we'll step out. Sea Dogs up by 1. Angelo Fullerton shorthanded. Welcome back. It's the Sea Dogs and the Olympiques. 1-0 for the Dogs. It's Fullerton from Olivier Groulx. Groulx's 99th point in his 150th QMJHL game as the Sea Dogs on the board first. When the Dogs do score first, they are 9-9-3 on the season. And it's going to be the Olympiques. Long stretch feed. Doesn't work out off the tape of Milo Serdny. A lot of size on the back end here for this Gatineau Olympique team. 6'6", 6'4", 6'3", another 6'3". They got a little bit of everything back there. All young as well. Magnuson works this one outside the zone. Here comes Zach Morin with speed, trying to attack. He'll play a backhander across off the shin pad of Seymour, and it falls to Drew McLennan. To the point, it's going to be held in by Carl Otto Magnuson, the former Moncton Wildcat. Here's Morin. Fakes the slap shot. Magnuson, well out of his wheelhouse. Pokes it along for Baldwin. Everett Baldwin resorts back to his position at the top of the point. Morin now looking out in front. Seymour battling in the blue paint as Gauthier. Morin as well out there. Magnuson with space takes a shot. That one fought off. Great opportunity there by Carl Otto Magnuson. 1 goal, 7 assists for him on the season. Committed to play at Connecticut University in 2026. As Seymour looks back, that pass deflects off a skate as it works his way inside of the Sea Dogs' end. Back up again, Fullerton. Tries to gallop in and he'll win the puck battle. Tries the backhand, no-look feed. Crayer, Renault out there as well with the Sea Dogs' lone goal scorer in this one so far. Shots 13-12 in favor of the Dogs. Score 1-0 with 11:40 left to play in our middle period. Here's Matt Crayer. Finds Renault. Doesn't handle that pass cleanly. Work back again for Chartrand. Now it's Fullerton trying to gear up speed. As we have the Olympique trying to negotiate their way through the neutral zone. Not with ease, though. Renault there. Fullerton will grab it, and it's played back for Drabchinski. Now Chartrand fires it up to the red line. Ramped off the Dogs, sticking in. As Rusey Takes his time with it. It's Crayer, turned over. Donovan tries to work his way around one. Duhamel now floats inside the zone, tries to hit the trailer. It was Rozzi, but the pass gets deflected. And Sear in a foot race for it with Dom Foose. As that one will catapult off a stick over the glass and into the fans. As Carlotta Magnuson. What an opportunity that was. Trying to get his first as a Sea Dog off the lower portion of the blocker. Don't see that a whole lot. Here's Milo Serdney. Radkov has a bit of trouble with it. Able to find it before the pressure comes. That allows Donovan to really fire up the engine here as he dumps this one in. Grew. Donovan floats around Rozzi on the backhander. He'll find his captain. Olivier Grew. Bouncing puck, not able to settle it down. Eventually it will be by Dom Foose pinching into the zone. Donovan again, down low. Milo Serdney. Plays this one off the yellow kick plate. Held in again. As the 286's battle with Grew and Dubé. Forked up and along the yellow kick plate. It's going to be now Duhamel taking over from his own end. Donovan. Had that one maneuver around his stick as Grew joins him in on the forecheck. Here's Sear with it now. Simon Xavier Sear curls and drags. That one dropped back. Dubé now tries to let it go. Rozzi will airmail this one back in between the two blue lines. As now another lead feed. Banks off the boards. Duhamel in a foot race for it as icing waved off behind the goal. Petrut looking to set up shop now for the Olympiques as Petrut lets it go. That one blocked off in front once again. Boissel goes off the boards right in front of his bench area. Russi, down low. Petrut rolls away from him. Domfus tries to cut one right through the middle of the ice. And eventually, one way or another, it will get out. Here's Petrut now, over the blue line. Handing it off, trying to enter in Dagenet. Stick breaks there, Barton. As a hit there from Nicholas Petrut. Nolan Aru now, with pressure. Tries to protect the puck, looks back for a defender, and he'll find Beau Domfus. Crosses the red line, and he'll sweep it down the length of the ice. 9 minutes left to play here from Gatineau in our middle period. As we have the Sea Dogs looking to attack. Taken away from them, Alex Carbonneau. Back again, it's Fullerton looking for Coche. As it's played back around the horn once more. Another drive in. Worked off and wide. Baldwin on the blue line, walks the line, hands it off Aru. He'll take a shot. That one misses wide to the blocker's side. Fullerton hands it off once more as we have Aru in there. He'll be the first one to the puck. Up top again to the blue line. It's rifled off a skate, and now here comes Petrut. Works his way, slides along the boards before dumping that one in for Carlotta Magnuson. Both teams in the midst of a line change. Carlotta Magnuson will lead the rush. Here's Baldwin. Floats a backhander along the close-sided wall. Fullerton now has a little bit of trouble wheeling and dealing his way inside. Here's Colin now. Looks to set up shop. Plays it back again. As we have McLennan up for Alley. Alley dishes it off wide. As that's Colin. It's 23, not 22. Alley now takes a drive in as he'll drop that pass off. To the top again we'll go. D to D. McLennan shoots. That one deflects off just wide. On a nice tip shot there. Now here's Seymour. Drops it off. Baldwin walks in. Back for Jabez looking out in front. And it's going to be knocked away into the corner once more. Morin looking for Baldwin. Baldwin once more demanding the play here with the puck on his stick. One-timer Morin didn't get 100% of that. Baldwin was trying to go for a line change. He'll have to stay on. Everett Baldwin loves to shoot the puck. He's tied third in defensive goals behind Marcus Kiersey and Cal Ewens. So still the lone goal here from Gatineau this late afternoon, early evening. 5:15 Atlantic time. That's another good look. Cole Renault, first game played in the QMJHL. Former 6th rounder from the 2025 draft. Here's Milo Serdny. Drabchinski now works his way up the ice as we see Crayer trying to cut right through Maine. Kicked along by Renault. Fullerton up against Milo Serdny. That's a big man to be going up against, but Fullerton holds his own. Tough angled shot, not able to connect with the 6x4. Up we come. Drabchinski lets it go. That's going to be blocked and sent off wide. Drabchinski again tries to sweep one along right onto the tape of Petrut, unfortunately for him. Chartrand looking for a pass, and once again, not communicating well. It's going to be turned over. Milo Serdny fires up a lead feed. Petrut drives it in. Radkov able to get a piece of that one and deflect it off wide. Carbonneau now. Back in his own end goes D to D. As bobbing and weaving through one and another, it's going to be Jan Goudreau. Plays it back for Petrut. Petrut, as mentioned earlier, is first in team points for the Olympiques with 30. Carbonneau down low again, works it back. Dubé a drive in, Radkov the stop. Rebound, trying to get that one out is Cole Renault. As the young rookie has been out there for some time, trapped in his own end. Carbonneau again floats one through. Puck loose back in behind the goal. Up to the top of the point it goes. Dished off to the half wall. Sear. Some stick work there by Crayer. Sea Dogs heading to the penalty kill. As Crayer was tired at the end of his shift as well. Him and Renault were out there for some time. And he's going to get a hooking call up against him, and it will be the second time that we will see this Gatineau Olympique power play. And with that, we're going to step out. All right, we're back here from Gatineau. Sea Dogs 1, Olympique 0. Luke Much on the call with you. This is the last game of this Quebec road swing. One more on the road trip, however. Now, the Sea Dogs will be facing off against the Mooseheads at the Scotiabank Center. And we're going to have another penalty here. And I think it's going against the Olympique. I do believe. We'll have to take a look here. And it is against Gatineau, so we will now go to 4-on-4. Pretty easy penalty kill for the Sea Dogs. And 4-on-4 for a long while, I believe, 55 seconds. Off the draw. We'll see. I didn't see anything there. The officials did, though. 4-on-4 for 1:50 now. Here's Dumais-Larouche. Turns on the burners. Goes all the way behind the goal of Radkov and back up to the top of the point. Dumais-Larouche then turns it over off the skate of Dom Foose, and he'll have to regroup. Plays a feed over for Sear. That one couldn't settle down. Puck was on edge. Donovan engages in a board battle as these two teams collide just inside the blue line. Forked pass to Hamel. Domfus slides back, gains some space. Grew. 4-on-4. Aggressive here is Gatineau. Still 70 seconds of 4-on-4 left to go. That pass misses the mark. Sear gains control, works his way in, tries to curl away from one. Donovan sticks with him. Duhamel now gains the puck. Off for Grew. Here comes Olivier Grew. Bobs by one. As Grew enters into the zone, he'll take a shot as it's going to once again explode off his stick. And then a defender's and into the netting. So the Sea Dogs will have a brief, to say the least, 8-second power play after this. There's still some time to go here. 40 seconds left of 4-on-4 hockey. Blais tries to negotiate his way through the neutral zone. It's going to be once again worked back. Alley gears up speed. Turned over quickly. Fullerton tries to attack back the other way. Chartrand, that pass ahead of him. Able to corral it out in front. Fullerton now looks up to the point. Coche walks the line. Tries to find a shooting lane. Still it's Coche. Behind the goal now looking for Fullerton. He fanned on the pass. And McLennan slides in. Hits a stick. Coche back up to the top of the point. Was looking for Chartrand. Fullerton thought it was for him. There's now a very brief Sea Dogs power play. They won't bother changing the lineups. Quickly back to 5-on-5. 2 easy kills for both of these teams. Here comes Angelo Fullerton. Gets taken down. No penalty on the play. Back the other way. It's going to be Boissel. Boissel drives in. Cuts around the goal. Tries to get a shot off. The puck rolls off his stick. He'll go up to the point instead. Poked along. Burton drives it in. The rebound in the slot area. Not able to be located by the Olympique in time. Barton again. Now here's Everett Baldwin with it. Baldwin looks cross ice. Fullerton takes a chop at that one. As it's back, and Baldwin is there to regroup for St. John. Baldwin's logged a lot of minutes here tonight. He'll turn that one over as the Olympique work in. Back to the top of the point we'll go. Here's Carbonneau. Back up as giving and going. Goudreau takes the shot off the glass up high, and the Sea Dogs will be called for their infraction. As it's Baldwin heading off. And not happy with himself. He was the one who made the turnover, then took the penalty. As there's the one on Angelo Fullerton that's not called. And my money, you can clearly see the stick go onto the skates of Fullerton and help propel him down onto the ice. The officials disagree, but they will call the penalty for Gatineau. And because of that, they'll get a power play. This one sent down the length of the ice. Sea Dogs one shorthanded goal on 2 minutes and 8 seconds of penalty kill time. They're currently 2 for 2 on the PK. That's Sagan. Up to the point. Dumais-Larouche. Petrut works in. Wants the shot. Can't find anything. Sweeps it in front. Radkov down. He's got it. No, he doesn't. It's loose in the goal. Still they scramble for it. Comes out for Grew. And he's able to pitchfork that one outside of the zone. My goodness. What a scramble there. Somehow Gatineau not able to convert. 1:10 left to go on the power play. 1:30 in the period. Dubé cuts in a drive. That one never got in towards the goal. Magnuson hammers it around the boards, and here comes Zach Morin. 3 shorthanded goals on the year. Morin walks in a shot off the end wall. Morin once more now. Looking to set up shop while shorthanded, but hard to do that as the numbers game catches up. Florent spins away from Coche. Domfus is there to mark his man. Holly looks up to the far side half wall. Holly now plays it around to the left wing half wall as we have Allie waiting, back down in front, looking for the feed. Nobody home. To the point will come. As Allie, again a shot fought off there by Radkov, held inside of the zone. And away from the netting, Sear. 15 seconds left to go on the man advantage. Rims it around. Narrowly held in on a great effort by Russi. Now here's Houle out in front, and a backhander will be absorbed there by the Sea Dogs netminder, Arseny Radkov, as he snags that one out of midair. There's a look at that scramble. Angelo Fullerton down on all fours. Here's an even better look. It sneaks through Radkov. Hard to think that that one would have counted as Boissel pushed Radkov from away the puck. And then there's the most recent stop. Routine into the glove. So that will do it for the power play for the Olympiques. Sea Dogs improved to 3 for 3 on the PK with a short-handed goal on top of that. In the final seconds of our second period, the Sea Dogs ice the puck. And the face-off will be back inside of the zone of Arseny Radkov. Grew and Boissel. Sea Dogs would like to keep it 1-0 here. And again, the back official. This time we'll kick out Gatineau. Grew and Sear once more. As Boissel has been kicked out. So Sear steps in. Ties up Grew. Now here's Chartrand. 10 seconds left to go. And it's going to be sent down the ice again. Not enough on it for icing. Russi has it. Sees the clock. Doesn't want to try to go for it, so he'll let the clock wind out as the Sea Dogs, with the only goal in this second period, and it belongs to Angelo Fullerton. Short-handed, his 19th of the season from Olivier Grew. The Sea Dogs are outshot in that period by 4, 12-8, for a total of 20 shots for the Olympiques, 14 for St. John. And 1-0 after 40 minutes of play. This is setting up for a fantastic third period between these two hockey teams. Only 15 minutes away on Flow Hockey and the Sea Dogs Audio Network on our YouTube. Welcome back to the broadcast. 40 minutes have gone and 20 minutes remain. 1-0 the score for the St. John Sea Dogs. Angelo Fullerton, his 19th of the year from Olivier Grew, his 99th career point in the QMJHL. This now also puts them at the solo team lead for points. Now that Alexi Joseph has missed the last game and a bit, I will say. As the Sea Dogs currently missing 3 of the regular forwards up front. With Murnix, Joseph, Yared all out of the lineup. Cole Renault has been called up here for this evening's contest. So here comes Rozzi with it now. Looking to the inside. Couldn't connect there with Alex Donovan. As Donovan now on the year up to 20 goals. As last time he played against Gatineau, he had a goal and an assist for a multi-point game. Alex Donovan currently sits second in team scoring with 20 even. Alexi Joseph, and there's a shot in, scores out of nowhere. From the top of the blue line, looked like a harmless play. Justin Blais is going to sneak this one in. Past Arseny Radkov. And hold on here because the Olympiques have just tied this one up. Let's take another look. Blais at the top of the point just turns and fires. Duhamel's in front as well. Looks like Houle potentially. Can't really see from any of the camera angles. It was Boissel out in front. And just a seeing-eyed shot from the point. 2 bodies in front of Radkov. He can't see it. And just like that, we're tied. Well, hold on here. Well, looks like we're all set. Whoa. Out of the blue. Justin Blais is second of the year. His 9th point. Snuck one by Arseny Radkov on the 21st shot of the game for the Olympique. And it's 1-1. Off the glass, Coche takes a chop at that one. Fullerton trying to wheel into that puck. Carbonneau was holding his stick, but not able to get a call. So there you have it. Maxime Dubois getting an assist on that goal as well. So 1-1 the score here, and that is the tying goal as of right now. As here's another look at it. There's Boissel. Radkov was trying to look around him. He was looking to his right. The shot was to his left. And it beats him to the high glove side. Those are a tough one to stop. As off the face-off. Goudreau plays it in deep again. Chartrand on the retrieval. It's going to be Coche. Bobbled that one. Didn't handle it cleanly. That's Sear. Now it's Chartrand. Again, another missed pass by St. John. A foot race for it. Here comes Aru and an icing call. As Nolan Aru thought that he burned away from Goudreau and just beat him to it at the line. The linesman disagrees. And now another offensive zone faceoff for Gatineau. One back by the Olympique, but Aru sprung himself, cut off the pass before it could get to a defender, and he'll steer it in deep. Coche quickly in on that forecheck. Backhanded up by Russi. That's picked up there by Boissel. Aru strips the puck away from him. This pass, it's deflected and will cross into the Olympique territory. As Blais, the goal scorer for Gatineau. Both teams struggling here to make clean passes. Here's another attempt for Gatineau. Blais plays a backhander. Bodom Foose let two Olympique past him. I don't know if he thought it was icing, but now Gatineau gets to control the puck. The rebound out in the slot. As it's Seymour. Trying to build up some speed and space there. No look backhander right through his own end. Here's now Morin walking in. Morin looking. Cross door. Trying to get a shot there. Not able to work out. 17-10 left to play. Here's Petrout. Duhamel tries to take a swing at that one. Domfus backhands it up to the blue line, and here come the Sea Dogs. 3 wide, 3-on-2. It's Gauthier that goes to the bench. Morin now blows a tire. And it's going to be Gatineau that have control again. As Petrout tries to walk around Domfus. Backhanded in by McLennan. Here's a look for Donovan. Plays it to the inside. Grew cuts right through Maine. He's pocket picked before he can enter inside the zone. Then wrestled to the ice after the fact. As it's now Dumais-Larouche. 15 points on the season for him. 52 games played so far. This will be his 53rd. For the overage defenseman. As again, another lead feed comes up and down inside of the St. John territory. Teams both trying to establish some zone time here. Sea Dogs can't enter inside the zone. Once again, dumped inside of their territory. Magnuson. Around it comes. Here's Rossi. Turns it over again at the blue line. Wasmer. Curls back. Magnuson. Fires it up at the blue line. Rossi beats out the icing call. First one to it. A no-look feed again. Not able to go tape to tape. Right idea. But Blais was there to intercept. Here's St. John once again. Coche off the boards and outside of the zone. Carbonneau. Looks back once again. He'll find Sear on the bank feed. The give and go with Boissel. Boissel overskated that puck along the boards. And now Fullerton tries to kick that one along. But it's broken right back up again. Here's Sear driving towards the goal. Lays a pass off. Nobody home. Fullerton takes a swing at it. Can't get it outside of the zone. Coche lifts a backhander down and past the blue line. Not enough for icing as the Sea Dogs get a line change. We have Carbonneau. Carbonneau, a lead feed, hits his man in stride, and then dumped inside the zone. Domfus plays it around for Seymour. Jabez Seymour getting enhanced minutes here. Fullerton dumps it in once again. As it's going to be worked across. Sea Dogs with no shots yet in the period, 5.5 minutes in. It's a cross-ice feed. There's a shot in. Radkov the stop. As Houle now with it again, another drive. It's going to be blocked off in front as the rebound bounces outside of the offensive zone. Gatineau controlling the play all period long. Sea Dogs trying to change something. As Goudreau for Florent. Back once again, McLennan. Florent. That pass didn't work out. Morin spins it back. Nobody home. Domfus back to collect. Domfus wants to head off, so he'll drop it for Wasmer. Julian Wasmer to his right. Duhamel cuts over the red line and he'll dump it in once more. Shaikov stops it up. Milo Serdny. He'll cough it up himself, looking out in front. Once again, can't go tape to tape. Fullerton steals, but offside. He doesn't touch the puck, though, on a good heads-up play. As now, once again, here come the Olympiques on the half wall. Duhamel pins up his man, Petrout. And we're going to get a hand pass, I believe. It will be, and with that, we'll step out. Sea Dogs haven't found their legs yet in the third period. We'll see if that changes after this. Welcome back, Luke Much with you as the Gatineau Olympiques and the St. John Sea Dogs tied at 1 apiece. It's going to be won by Wasmer. He'll directly throw it right back to the Olympique. Wasmer on the second attempt now. Tries to cut right up the middle. That pass, whoa, well out of the reach there. Morin. Seymour now back for Morin. Again turn to fire. Rips that one up and around the cage. Duhamel, that puck took a funny hop. And it's going to be settled down by Dumais-Larouche. He'll turn on the Jets. Shimmy one in down low. Sear is there. Good bump by Duhamel. Knocks him off the puck. As it's Blais. Tries to fire one in towards the goal. It's blocked now. Here comes Koche. 3-on-2. Seymour looking, passing. Morena shot. This one wide. That's a good luck there for St. John. Still looking for their first shot of the period. Here's Koche again. That one might have caught the helmet of Shaikov there. I was just looking. Looks like he's all right. And there is the Sea Dogs' first shot. 7:50 into this third period. 1-1 the score. Here's Rossi. Turns it over inside of his own end. Drabchinski. Now he'll turn it over. Back for Rossi again. Has another loose puck, and it will find Domfus. Back for Rossi. Once again, not connecting. Crayer takes a try at that one. Won again by the Olympique. Seguin plays the long rim in. There's Gabriel Seguin on the second line to start off this matchup. Now on his way to the third. And here he comes, working this one in. Not able to get a clean shot away. As Florent out there with him, as now Seguin heads off for a change. Here's Crayer. Goes high up and off the glass. Over Mike Milo Serdny, which is a hard thing to do. 6'6" on the back end for the Olympique. Here's Carbonneau now. Grew. One back, Dagenet. Dagenet had the lone goal against the St. John Sea Dogs in January in a 5-1 win at the Aitken Center on the campus of the University of New Brunswick in Fredericton. As now 10:40 left to go. A pinup for it. Top unit out. Donovan Fullerton Grew. Around it comes Magnuson. He'll pinch in. Carbonneau. Donovan. Now it's worked around to the other number 9. As it's Louis Etienne Halley. Grew. Waits, trying to set something up, looking for point 100. To the point it comes. There's a drive off and wide. As this one just cleared past the stick of Cam Chartrand. And, just enough for icing on the play. As looks like we might get a timeout here. There's the head coach of the Gatineau Olympiques, Serge Beausoleil. He made the T sign. And there it is. So he'll take his 30-second timeout here. Just around halfway through our final period of play. St. John now gaining some momentum here a little bit. After a tough start in the third period, Travis Crickard preaching to his squad. Serge Beausoleil getting vocal now a bit. As he'll grab the whiteboard now. As he's having a conversation with Max Dubé. So, big face-off here. Serge Beausoleil obviously thinks it's important enough that the timeout has to be called. He has a tired group of players out there. Still plenty of time left to go in this game. 10 minutes even. Here's a board battle for it. As a quick shot in there by Dubé off the set play. Tried to spring him. Now here's Grew. Back the other way, narrowly onside is Fullerton. Grew rifles that one in. Loose puck in front. Donovan's there. but so is Shaikov, and he seals the door as the puck was loose out in front. Banking off the end wall, Alex Donovan hustles hard, not able to tap it home. Just a bit of a broken play. Shaikov went to go and swat it, and he just struck out on it. And it snuck by him. Able to corral the rebound in time, however. Another offensive zone face-off for St. John, and here they come. Seymour tries to center one out in front for Koche. Here's Sear. Back for Jabez Seymour now as Seymour enters across the blue line. Koche walks in with a shot, blocked off in front by Barton. The rebound back the other way. 3-on-2 for the Olympiques. Nice stick by Duhamel. Koche hustles back to help out, and that will negate the odd man rush. Still with possession. One-timer from the point. Wide to the glove side. Russi now on the half wall. Koche tries to launch one up ice. Couldn't go tape to tape on that wedge pass. Dumped inside after crossing the red line. Bodom Foose quickly pressured. All the way around the glass, it will come to the point once again. Sea Dogs continuing, trying to press. Morin thought he had a break. He has to hustle back the other way. Petrut goes wide to the short side. Rebound is going to be just chopped at and mashed back in towards Radkov. So we're into the back half of this third period here in Gatineau, as the Sea Dogs and the Olympiques trying to fight to the end here, as we're all tied at 1. It was Angelo Fullerton, his 19th from Olivier Grew, short-handed. And then the other way, Justin Blay on a seeing-eyed point shot beats Radkov cleanly with Sagan on the assist. Gabriel Sagan, that is. There's Rossi now on the half wall. Hands it up ice. Another wind up there from the blue line. Not able to find the target. Here's now Sagan. Played back. McLennan out there with Goudreau. Two lefties on the blue line right now. And Goudreau will take his time. Dagenet throws one in down low. Grew is there. Donovan as well. Donovan up for Fullerton. Fullerton wants to give it back. Here comes Alex Donovan into the zone. Shot never got to the blue paint. Dagenet tries to force a pass up. Second attempt, and he'll get it up there. Here's Collin now. Collin with the backhand attempt, sweeping one out in front, an open cage, rolling off the stick there of the intended Gatineau player, Dylan Alley. As Fullerton and Milo Certainty in a race. And the official will call the icing, much to the chagrin of Angelo Fullerton. Milo Certainty will get to head off. Fullerton has to stay on. As there's Collin looking for a feed out in front. Alley just had that puck roll off his stick. The two 86s. Grew, Dubé, and Grew's going to win this one. Around it comes. Fullerton's there and ready. He'll play it back for Magnuson. Magnuson thought he had too much time there, and he was quickly shut down on. Back it comes once more. Donovan trying to get it outside. It's going to be now Fullerton. As Fullerton works it around, turned over again. Donovan overskated it. As this one is rifled in, but once again Radkov pads it aside. As a rolling puck down the length of the ice will find its way into the crease of Shaikov. Here's Blay. Sea Dogs only 2 shots here in this third period. Coche knocks it away from his man. Now here comes St. John. Back the other way. It's Seymour with speed. Fans on the pass. Quickly back again will be Gatineau. Running into trouble. Now it's Coche for the Dogs who will dump this one in. Seymour on the forecheck. It's going to be worked free, trying to spin one out in front. Now up to the point. Wasmer. One-timer from the blue line as Morin went 1 knee, 1 tee. Trying for his first of the night. And his team's second, which would be the go-ahead goal right now. Final 6 minutes of play. Bo Domfoos skates right up through the middle. Domfoos still with it around 1. He'll dump this one in. As Crayer after it. Rozzy out there as well. Up to the half while it will come on the left wing side. Drabchinski, he'll turn it over right onto the tape of Alley. And here he comes. Takes a shot from range. And Radkov is there to hang on. We'll step out. 5:31 left to play here from Gatineau. It's the Sea Dogs and the Olympiques all square at 1. All right, here we go. Time winding down on our third period. 1-1 the score. It's St. John and it's Gatineau, and Gatineau has carried the play, outshooting the Sea Dogs 8-3 in this final 20 of regulation. St. John from their own end. Chartrand quickly up ice as Fullerton. Look at the speed here on 81 in white and blue. Working it free. Donovan gets dragged down there. Grew thought there was a penalty, so he stopped skating. Back the other way, it's going to be Dubé. Nice feed. Sear drops it once again. Boissel. As it's now Grew. Looks up ice. Fullerton. Fires it across. Donovan takes a drive in. The rebound was out in front, but Boissel was able to beat out Olivier Grew. Here is Justin Boissel. He'll play the dump in with under 5 minutes left to play in regulation. It's Chartrand. He just gets it outside of the zone as the defense for the Olympiques. We're in the midst of a line change. Wasmer now. He'll slow things down. Here's Julian Wasmer, former Chicoutimi Saguenay, up for Coche against his former team. How sweet would it be for him to get a goal right here? As it's now Seymour trying to corral this loose puck. Morin is there. As McLennan able to work it free, and he'll play it all the way around. Seymour up for Coche. Max Coche tries to get it by 1, as that's Goudreau battling there, but the Olympiques overage defender is able to get it worked free. Goudreau once more. Off the yellow kick plate inside of the Sea Dogs end. Wasmer turns it over. Houle is trying to find his man Blay at the point, but he threads the needle between Blay and Collin. And now regrouping is going to be Gatineau. That pass out of the reach of the intended target. Domfoos is there. Here's Magnuson. 3.5 left to play in period number 3. Crayer moves this one up as Domfoos, or excuse me, that's Gauthier. Blay now for the Olympiques. Nice backhand sauce, cross ice. Dagenet has that one poked away by his counterpart. 71, Olivier Duhamel. Crayer. Now it's Magnuson again. Tries to play it to the inside. Work back for Alley. We're going to have another hand pass call with 3:05 now left to go in period number 3. So crunch time here. Sea Dogs coaching staff trying to get their team fired up. Shots 28-18 in favor of Gatineau. So this puck bounces off the end wall. The end boards here are hot in Gatineau. Here's now Duhamel. Tangles his man down to the ice. Off the half wall. This one flutters back in towards Radkov. Duhamel once again will retrieve. Goes up the middle. Here's Donovan. Now Fullerton crosses the blue line. Fullerton tries to use his speed. Donovan looks to the point. Not able to get a pass up. As we have Sear for Dubé. Once again played in between the two blue lines. Dumais-Larouche. Playing pitch and catch there with Milo Serdney. Launches a feed up. Coche now. He'll get this one below the goal line. On to the half wall. Florent, 120 seconds left to go. Petrut spins one around Chartrand. Pulls out the 60 degree and he's able to get it outside the zone. As Goudreau was offside. And the Olympiques had to tag up there for a moment. Chartrand alongside the goal line. It's going to be played across to the glove side. Morin up to the point. Seymour helps to get this one outside the zone. It's all Olympique right now, but a late icing call might turn the tide with 92 seconds left. The Sea Dogs will get an offensive zone face-off. As Arseny Radkov has been a busy man here tonight. He's been holding the fort, however. Here's Donovan off the draw. He scores! Alex Donovan right off the face-off. Snapped back by Olivier Groux. And Alex Donovan pots home his 21st of the season. And the captain's 100th point in the QMJHL. As what a turn of the tides that was. Groux off the draw, wins it back. Donovan leans into it. It was all Gatineau Olympique for the last 5-7 minutes or so. The Sea Dogs weather the storm, and Alex Donovan, a big goal for the St. John Sea Dogs. With 1 minute and 31 seconds left to go. Olivier Groux, 2 assists on the matchup for him. That's 4 assists in 2 games against the Gatineau Olympique. The point streak at 5 games with 7 points. And in his last 8, Olivier Groux has 12 points. He's an assist per game over his last 8 contests. Now the Sea Dogs have to play keep away into the final minute of play in the third period. Shots 29-19 in favor of Gatineau. Arseny Radkov, a fantastic bounce back performance from him thus far. Empty net 6-on-5. Boissel down low, Sear. Now it's going to be Alley with it. Sea Dogs trying to push this one outside of the zone. Aggressive, just like the penalty kill. It's going to be where cross ice a shot. Oh, what a stop! Radkov robs his man blind. What a stop with the glove. Arseny Radkov, a game saver. Able to keep the Sea Dogs up by 1 in the dying seconds of the third period. Take a look at this. Cross ice Boissel. If he's a lefty, he can one-time that. When he's a righty, he has to receive it and then fire. Radkov lunges to his glove side. Able to knock it down with the glove and cover up the rebound. Save of the game, Arseny Radkov. My goodness. That's now 29 saves for number 31 in the Sea Dogs goal. To the point it comes, not out of the clear yet. Here's a long shot. As it's once again taken over by the Olympiques. Sear floats one in towards the goal, deflected up. And out of play with 12.4 seconds left to go. Man, what a matchup this has been. Shaikov looks on from the bench. Dumais-Larouche, Dubé out there, Boissel as well. He'll face off against Olivier Groux. 2 assists on 2 Sea Dogs goals to get his 100th QMJHL point in his 150th QMJHL game. What a night for him. As the Sea Dogs look to get back to their winning ways, it's a high stick that the Olympique will touch first. And it will be thrown back inside of their own end, and that will call for Shaikov to be returned to the crease. Great effort by St. John after a tough opening 2 games, giving up 14 goals in those 120 minutes. And especially here tonight, while doing it shorthanded, you're missing your superstar Alexi Joseph. As the clock winds down, the St. John Sea Dogs will beat out the Gatineau Olympiques to get back to their winning ways. They'll sweep the season series by a score of 2-0 on the season. Of course, this game, the score 2-1 here tonight. As a great complete effort. There's some rocky patches for sure in that third period. It was all Gatineau, but at the end of the day, it's a face-off play. Groux snaps it back. Donovan wires one into the top of the cage. And a classy move here by the St. John Sea Dogs. Going over to retiring official here, Nicholas Comtois. As this will be his last game here. Both teams lining up. St. John out first. Gatineau went to the tunnel. Dubé saw St. John doing that and decided to go back and get his teammates. And the classy gesture there from both sides. So the Sea Dogs next in action on Friday, the 27th, 7 o'clock at the Scotiabank Center, as they look to put together a new winning streak. On behalf of myself, Luke Much, and the St. John Sea Dogs, thank you for tuning in. This has been Sea Dogs Hockey on Flow Hockey TV and the Sea Dogs YouTube channel.